Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. Today we have a reading all about a new start, a new chapter in something in your life, and we are going to check in with the elemental realm, so plants and flowers and animals and birds, which are also animals, to get some insight from them about what this new start is, its energy, and even using a little bit of tarot to maybe get a bit of a story as to, what's led to this and where this might be going for you. So all sorts of good, juicy stuff. I do want to apologize. There is some kind of like construction work being done outside of my house today, and I debated if I should go ahead anyway with these readings. And it's I record on Mondays. It's the one day I set aside to kind of do this, so if I don't do it today it may not happen. So I just said, well, there may be some background noise. Hopefully my mic kind of filters it out a little bit, but if you do hear some rummaging in the background, that's why. Okay, so we've got 3 piles today to choose from. If you have sort of like your own process in doing that, you can pause here and then jump to the timestamps in the descriptions. Otherwise, for those of you that like the breath work I lead you through that helps you sort of jump into or like drop into intuition as well as open up to your higher self and higher guidance, we will do that now. Okay, so place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel the stability of the ground and the earth below you. And take a deep breath into that. So like really wading into and embodying into your body with a breath. Hold that, and then you can exhale. Now take another deep breath, and this time suck the air up, up, up into the space between your brows. Hold. Suck in a little more air to add pressure there. And then out loud exhale this time, opening your crown chakra. Okay, so 3 piles here. We've got the flower agate for pile 1, rose quartz point for pile 2, and Lemurian quartz for pile 3. So you can just gaze over these 3 piles and ask which one has your aligned message about a new start, a new chapter in something starting to appear for you. All right, I will see you in your readings starting with pile 1. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading all about a new start, some new chapter coming in for you. You guys picked this beautiful flower agate, and we're just going to kind of put this to the side. And the card that is under your stone is kind of going to be the subject matter of what this new chapter is. But before we do that, we're also going to roll an astro dice with the house in astrology, the house numbers, to see which category, which sector of life is going to be getting this change, is associated with this change. So for you, it's the 12th house, which relates to kind of like arts and mysticism and healing, and just basically being able to see life with a really integrated, compassionate, holistic type of lens. And so let's see the more of the subject of what this new chapter is about. Ascension. So this is absolutely like a spiritual awakening. So you're starting like a new sort of spiritual journey in your life. And sorry, my So many distractions, my goodness. So we've got construction outside, and now my dog is scared of it and he's trying to get me to hold him. So anyway, that's something you may be experiencing kind of coming into this new start, is like a little bit of chaos in life. And what's interesting is the 12th house is the last house in the astrology chart, and it sort of holds everything from every house before it that we didn't sort of deal with. It kind of has that whatever we swept into the closet feel. So it's where we walk through our shadows. And that tends to, as we walk through shadows, as we kind of face the things we haven't wanted to face, it can bring a sense of a little bit of chaos around us. And I think that what's happening is like you're really getting a grasp, like a new chapter coming in, because you're having a much clearer grasp of how to deal with sort of shadow work and healing, which is also associated here, of like needing to be a little bit detached and calm and observational. And when you are in that kind of energy, instead of being sort of whiplashed and kicked around by that chaos, you're able to observe it and really gain a very big comprehension and compassionate understanding of life, and in just like a really broad, big boundaried sort of way. And so, yeah, I think you're coming into a new chapter of like really ascending in how you are able to do this. And yeah, just really stepping into a new way of holding life in a more spiritual, ascended manner. Okay, so let's get some insight from the animal and plant kingdom. I'm going to pick 2 of these cards, and I'll be reading at least a little bit from the guidebook for these, because they're new to me and I'm loving them, but I don't know them by heart yet, or at least, you know, not necessarily by heart, but like have remembrance of what they each mean in general. So we've got owl and hop with wisdom. Beautiful. And that, look at the wings. These wings almost match here. It's like, yeah, just like really, and I do associate owls with being able to be in that calm, observational sort of energy, really being able to ascend and be up high and watching, and yeah, just taking the big picture of life in. And then we've got skunk and magnolia with protection, which is so beautiful. And I do believe that like the more we kind of get into that high vibe, big spiritual energy, the more we are open to sort of everything in life, but that openness comes with protection as well. So this is also just indicating that like with that ascended, bigger, boundaried kind of new chapter and understanding of life you're coming into, there is just beautiful protection around you. But let's read from the guidebook just a little bit about each of these. Okay. Okay, so owl and hops, the meaning is wisdom. Owls are closely associated with Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom. Known for their nocturnal vision, owls represent knowledge and erudition, with a hint of mystery. The hop is an impressive plant, able to climb up to 20 feet in a single growing season. Combined, the pair indicates spiritual and intellectual fulfillment. yeah, I mean, it's all ascending, you know, like this new chapter coming in of really learning how to kind of ascend the mundane thing, not necessarily the mundane things, but the anything petty, anything shadowy, just like really, really getting a new beautiful grasp of like how to, sorry, one second, my dog has now tangled himself in some cords. Really, really understanding how to just, kind of rise above the lower vibrations of life and really look at it, though not as like I'm better, but with a compassion and a knowing of how to not only find healing for yourself in that, but knowing how to, oh my gosh. Sorry, my dog is being a problem right now. How to like kind of be a guide for others and help them, and understanding that the better everyone is doing around us, the better we do as well, and really being able to spread that kind of beauty around. Okay, let's read about the skunk and magnolia with protection. The skunk knows how to shield itself by spraying its foes with a foul odor. Its black and white fur serves as a warning to all would-be assailants. Similarly, the magnolia is known for its large, waxy leaves and copious blooms. Its thick-petaled flowers are some of the oldest on Earth, having evolved to endure damage from beetles. So you are safe, your boundaries are respected, and your home is intact. Remember that when you are protected, it becomes your duty to protect others. Extend your shelter to those without one. Yeah, just like I said, just like this really new chapter of just like coming into this beautiful wisdom and ascension of like knowing how to stay above the fray and feel more healing within yourself, but like knowing that that is something that you can and should be spreading around. So like some responsibility coming in with this new chapter because of sort of coming into the chapter, I think, with some mastery, or some mastery at least that you will be finding quite quickly. If this doesn't sound like you yet, I think that this is something you're getting kind of right out the gate, and I think will be settling into you very soon. For some of you, you may really get what this is about already and be like, yes, I totally connect with that. But either way, as that settles in, the more you feel that, the more I think you're going to find this desire to really extend that out to others. Okay, let's look at the plant kingdom. We have sweet flag and chaparral. This is another one that I'm going to read it just a little bit from the guidebook, because I am not an expert. I know a little bit about the plant world, but I'm no expert. So we got sweet flag. Brightener of colors is what it says. Sweet flag is about bringing to the present moment your essential self, not what has clung and stuck to you or what you have picked up and carried. Sweet flag burns through the detritus and commands you to put it down, throw it out, and arrive. Sweet flag makes colors brighter, smells more visceral. Sweet flag shows us our ability to adapt as we are so designed. Sweet flag helps confront fears by loosening the places where we hold too tightly. Fear often comes when we feel like we don't know ourselves or don't trust ourselves, often due to our past experiences. Coming out of fear means coming into yourself with a clarity of heart and the brightness of color. which is so beautiful. So in this kind of ascended state that you're stepping into with a new chapter, I think things will just feel a little bit more magical, a little bit more, sweet and colorful, and an ability to, I think I had mentioned earlier in this reading that this 12th house is a place where we become really detached in order to ascend and see everything from a much higher perspective. We have to be a bit detached in order to do that. And I think in this case, this new chapter and that kind of sense that you're stepping into it with, you're really able to kind of lay down any of those shadows and overlays and norms that have made life less colorful for you. And so just like stepping into a little bit more joy through detachment. I know sometimes that could sound like an oxymoron, but in this case, that detachment is from shadows and from things that have had an overlay that's been a bit foggy for you, or a little bit difficult to see above. And it's like suddenly you can see above, and everything is just a little bit brighter because of that. Okay, and then chaparral. Rider of the fault line. Chaparral is particularly helpful if your experiences have torn or shattered your sense of self or sense of memory. Remembering is an important part of life that serves us in many ways in growth, survival, and thriving. Chaparral aids in the digestion of our experience and trauma. Chaparral works this way in our physical body as well, integrating, filtering, and removing the elements that do not help and likely may harm. And this, like these working together, it's like, you are ascending to be able to see these things that have, made you feel fragmented, made you feel unclear, made you hold, like some fear because there's unknowing, an uncertainty when we're not feeling whole, or there's something that's obscure to us. And it's sort of like, it's like your pieces are coming back together. And that is what's like helping you to ascend, is like, I don't know if you've done a lot of work on sort of memory or past life regressions or childhood regressions, inner child work, any just like really working through some traumas. There's something you've done a lot of work in that is really helping you to step into a whole new chapter of feeling whole and able to rise above, out of like feeling kind of pieced together, really rising above certain stories, certain obscurities, certain things that have, like prevented you from feeling life as a little bit more magical and colorful. And it's, so you're really stepping into much brighter days in a spiritual sense. If chaparral is speaking to you, spend some time with the parts of you that feel fractured, chaotic, or degraded. And we've talked about chaos already. Chaparral will enter your dreams and your tissues, leaving behind those residual wounds. And, remember with this owl, the owl energy coming through here, there's a big key is being able to find some stillness and observation, which helps you to rise above chaos and just being able to see all the things that enter into big boundaries and how they're moving instead of being down in the thick of it and whiplashed around by that. Like really getting how to, just be above that and observant of it, which gives you, some really major comprehension in terms of, just like understanding whatever it is that has previously felt obscure or uncertain to you. Okay, let's do some tarot cards to get a little bit more info about what's to come in this chapter, or maybe things you've been through to get to this chapter, whatever they want to talk about, we'll take. Okay, we've got Knight of Swords. This feels like you. High Priestess, yes, beautiful. Justice in reverse. The Empress in reverse. This is all about what we talked about with that sweet flag and like stepping into now being able to see the colors and the beauty of life. Things have been out of balance with that. And so this new chapter is going to bring, like, reestablish some balance there. King of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse. So a lot of reversals here. And I see this as like these two first cards that came out upright. I see this like the combination of them as like your archetype in this new chapter of like really connecting to your intuition and your understanding of your connection to the divine, to spirituality, to your own belonging to that, your own sense of it, and really trusting yourself and feeling like a fighting spirit and fortitude and swiftness and intellectual sort of just like fortitude and growth, really sweeping in and really standing up to certain imbalances you've felt in terms of like, especially in terms of feeling maybe embodied, feeling a connection to material life, feeling life as, you know, colorful and magical and beautiful and embodied and sort of in command of your life in that sense. Like I think that's where there's been like some fracturing and some imbalance, and this new archetype is swooping in, and it's really going to from above be able to see all of these things for what they are and the illusions they hold, and really be able to flip them back upright and start to see life as much more colorful, much more precious, much more wondrous and interesting and luxurious in some ways. So really beautiful. Okay, to end this reading, we are going to pull a few feather messages just to leave you with some sweet messages from Spirit of like, you know, what kind of beautiful energy is entering with this new cycle. So central to this, the time is ripe for creation and connection. Focus your attention in these areas. And I feel that creation with the Empress and the King of Pentacles in reverse. I think there's been some stagnancy there, and it's like there's a new in this more ascended chapter that you're coming into. It's like creation and connection become really open for you, and you're really seeing from above and with vision like how to progress there in your life, because there's been some shadows you're now seeing for what they are and the illusions behind them that have kind of kept something obscure for you. And then meadow lark, smile, you will soon experience a wonderful journey of inner discovery. And I'm reading the second and third of these feather messages related to the first one. So yeah, I mean, I think the more you just try and channel that smile and a positive outlook, this inner discovery that you're going through is really opening up this pathway for creation and connection in your life. And then we've got the Parrot. Let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It's time to embrace who you really are. And there's something about that is helping to clear the path as well for you for creation and connection. So beautiful, beautiful new chapter coming in for you, Pile 1. Major spiritual awakening, ascension, wisdom, and all of that kind of elevated, being able to rise above certain things. You're going to see shadows that you'll be able to turn around, and life will become much more cohesive, much more colorful, much more beautiful. And I think you're going to want to share that around as you find it for yourself. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate all the things. Like, subscribe, share. I always am grateful for kind and thoughtful little comments. And I will see you in future readings. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading all about a new chapter that is coming in for you. You guys picked this Rose Quartz, which we're going to... That was from last reading, sorry. Set over on the side for you guys. So this card that was underneath your stone is kind of the cornerstone or main sort of theme, subject matter of what this new chapter is about. But before we turn that over, I'm going to roll an astro dice that has in astrology, all the different house numbers on it. There's 12 houses in astrology, which represent different categories of life. So I just want to look at kind of what category of life this most associates with, and then we'll see what is the new chapter about in that area of life. So 5th house is all about creativity, leadership, sort of the spotlight, being connected to your heart. Can also be sort of like recreation. So something new, some new energy, a new chapter coming in around. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what comes up in the cards, if it kind of touches all these things or something specific within that category of life. So we have the Weaver here as the main kind of theme of this new chapter, which feels very much so like the creative archetype. Really expressing yourself, weaving creative things together. And I love seeing the stars on the palms of the hands. I feel like that's sort of like receiving attention and the spotlight, to me, like being open to being seen, being open to showing your heart and showing your creative spirit, your creative weavings together. Yeah, so that's really, it feels like a very bright, exciting kind of chapter coming in for you. Yeah, so let's check in now with the elemental realm. We're going to animals and elemental realm. So this deck, we're going to get animals paired with plants, and then we're also going to just specifically talk to the plants for some insight from this realm of just more context to understand about this new chapter. So we've got the Hare and Oak, new opportunities. That's exciting. And I always think of the acorns of an oak tree, which are like the seeds of an oak tree, just like really, really big, fortuitous new things. Not just new opportunities, but like very fortuitous, big, grand things coming through here. This one, and then we also have the chipmunk and laurel with success. Wow. So I also feel like really bringing out that leadership capacity too, not only your creativity and willingness to kind of put your heart and expression on display and kind of receive attention, but really towards big things and finding that success within it. And I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook for these two cards. Let's see, just to see how they kind of weave together, how hair works with the oak. Okay, so new opportunities. Hairs are often symbols of fertility and love. And the fifth house can be, it's not so much like marriage and commitment, but it's like the romance of love. I think of like summer romance kind of energy there. So maybe some of that energy coming through for you guys too. Associated with the Celtic goddess Ostre. I don't know if it's Ostra or Ostre, but it's based on Easter. They represent springtime, a season of birth and abundance. A variety of ancient cultures have linked the oak tree with bravery and vitality. In ancient Greece, the oak was revered as the tree sacred to Zeus. In Norse mythology, it represented the tree of life. And in ancient Celtic and Druidic cultures, the oak was associated with the god Dagda. Upright, a celebration of good fortune, is in order. If you have been in a caregiving role, this is a reminder that your sacrifices will be repaid. What can I celebrate today? What exciting opportunities should I follow up on? Yeah, so I mean, everything I kind of tapped into, like something sort of grand in nature, celebratory in nature coming through, that are sort of new opportunities that really are tapping into your ability to kind of weave and express and create and lead. Okay, let's look at the chipmunk. The chipmunk and laurel symbolizes a new venture. So we have new opportunities and new venture. So some big new, a new venture that will surely lead to success. The chipmunk often takes the road less traveled, finding hidden pathways and adventure along the way. The laurel is a symbol of victory, used to crown the winners in ancient Olympic games. Together, they tell us to take charge of our destiny, carve our own path, and find success. Upright, forge a unique path toward your destiny. The road to achieving your goals is hardly ever straight and easy, but the journey is ultimately rewarding. What success in my life can I celebrate? How can I carve my own path and live my truth? So this adds a little bit of context that these new opportunities may be self-created. It's time to kind of really get in touch with, like, what is it that I want? How am I wanting to show up as a leader and a creative in the world? How do I really want to express myself? And kind of taking the reins in your own hands and making your own opportunities. I do feel that, like, if you get clear about what you want and sort of taking initiative on what your highest vision for yourself is in terms of being a creative or being a leader, I think the opportunities will open to you. So it's sort of like, get clear about what you want. And that's the part of, like, taking it into your own hands. It's just getting that clarity of, like, what you want for you. And by doing that, I think you are going to all of a sudden be much more aware of openings. And as you engage with them, with, coming into this new cycle, I think with a kind of very open, big, brave heart, you'll be able to pass the guards of any door, any pathway with ease. But you have to be aware, you have to be clear about what you want, which makes you aware of the paths and the doors. And the energy you're kind of channeling will make it very easy for you to gain passage to whichever opportunities, doors, paths that you do notice and feel are right for you. Super cool. Okay, let's tap into the plant realm and get a couple of messages for you from that realm. This one wants to come out. We've got straw flower, and look, the emblem, or like kind of the main feature at the central point of this, I think it's kind of like a necklace or some sort of artwork, a weaving, is a sun. So like the sun is really shining on you guys. And then at the top here we have a sun and the star. So it's like hope and possibility and opportunity with the star, and the sun is like your attitude and energy that's just like making your path to these hopes and potentials very clear and very easy and very fun. And then we've got clary sage as well. Okay, I'm going to read just a little bit from the book for these two. And I always look at little things that happen around me during readings as signs, and currently there's some construction happening on our street and they had to cut our power for part of the day, and it just came on because I heard sort of the, you know, different things that when the power goes on, they kind of like make noises. And that's sort of like, yeah, it's like suddenly, I don't know if you're coming from some sort of chapter where you've felt powerless or lethargic or a bit in the dark or unsure of what you've wanted, but it's like I think that it's like suddenly a light switch, like the power comes back on, and a light switch, or whatever you would associate with needing to be powered up turns on, and it's like everything becomes clear for you then. And I'm even just looking at that eye on this clary sage image of like suddenly being able to see clearly because of like a new access to power, or feeling more vitality. Something about that could be a little different for each of you, because that's not coming through as like specifically clear. It's kind of generally clear. So I think it might be because it's a little different for each of you. For some, it might be about having access to some power, and for others, it might be coming into more clarity about something. Okay, so clary sage, the green-eyed wanderer. As their name indicates, clary sage is clarifying and cleansing to both physical and emotional states. As an ally in pleasure, both seeking it and experiencing it, they create room for play and experimentation. Breathe clary sage in, lick, rub into sensitive areas, and they will bring a calming sensation, clearing out like a dip in a cold pond. Nervous tension can be relieved, the body can relax, the mind can feel clear and open, and the pleasure can rush in, build slowly, or explode. So as this kind of clarity comes through or power turns on, it is definitely associated with pleasure too. So like really, as you get into a kind of creative awakening or emergence and willingness to kind of be seen or step up into leadership, or just being open and brave about expressing yourself, there is a sense of like making sure this feels pleasure. There's something, I mean, I think it will be natural, but like there is a connection to feeling pleasure that I think has been hard for you to see before, but it's like really sinking in here. Clary sage shakes our stagnation, cycles, and wallowing. Yeah, I do. I picked up on, I think you're coming not necessarily from wallowing, but like feeling low, feeling unconnected to something, even within yourself maybe. Let them clear your eyes and your mind to look freshly at where you are headed and why. Yeah, and this taps into this, like, you needing to be clear about what you want, but as soon as, like, and I think that's the key here, is like, as soon as you really start to ponder, like, what is it that I'm wanting to express? What does my heart want? How do I want to be sort of seen in terms of, like, attention on me? What am I wanting to create? What am I wanting to do for fun and play? How do I want to lead in this world? Whatever resonates to you within that, it could be all of the above or specific parts of that. It's like taking something about that into your own hands of, like, well, what do I want? And as soon as you get clear about that, it's like everything, the power turns on, opportunities open, you feel awake, you suddenly have clear sight. And I'm looking at this, like, window opening and bird flying in towards stars, is like suddenly the openings are there, and it's easy to kind of soar towards these beautiful, sparkly something's very much so catching your attention, I think. And maybe it's that, maybe something catches your attention, which makes you clear and state clearly what you want, which helps you kind of, just step into kind of a sunnier, more vibrant, more creative, more excited state, I guess. Okay, we are going to do some tarot now to get just a little more context about what's ahead for this path, this new chapter opening to you. Got the Emperor in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, Queen of Swords upright, the Magician, Seven of Cups, and the Tower in reverse. Yeah, you are I think you have, I think you sort of have a sense that you have been at the end of some kind of chapter. And there have been certain things that have kind of like a deep spring cleaning, in a sense of, like, an old life, past versions and phases you've been in. Just, it's like clearing the wreckage of things that are just, like, no longer kind of interesting or valid or useful in your life anymore. You've already been through that phase, I believe. You've already kind of been through the clearing, or you're at the tail end of this. And I think as you've gone through kind of that wreckage, I think you've maybe, in retrospect, in kind of reviewing some past things, identified or more clearly seen where you've been a little bit potentially disempowered, but also potentially just, like, not as self-motivated, or taking the reins of your life into your own hands type of thing. I think you're, like, seeing some truths about this where you've maybe been a little bit not proactive, potentially, in the past in relation to this aspect of life, creativity, leadership, playfulness. There's something that you just haven't been assertive about forging, taking your own fate into your own hands. And maybe through some feelings of like lack in not that you're not intelligent, but like there's information or a lack of education or a lack of something that you've felt was like maybe at the root of that. And I think you're seeing the illusions there of like, you don't need to be the best at something, or you don't need a college degree or a master's or a doctorate or even a high school degree. Like whatever it is for you, there's some sort of intellectual thing you've perceived as a flaw that's prevented you from taking your own fate into your own hands around feeling like you're worthy of being in the spotlight, that you're worthy of being in command, and you're seeing past that now as you like clear out the rubble of old past phases that are just like no longer relevant. I think you're just like really waking up to some illusions around that, and really stepping into this thing of like, I can nurture my mind, my intelligence, my ideas in my own unique way. I don't have to do things linearly. I can do them based on my instinct, my intuition, what drives me, my particular beat, and as long as I nurture and nourish that, things will grow. And I will find my kind of command here and be able to manifest and create. I have all that I need at my fingertips, and I just need to follow my pulse, my beat, and nourish and nurture that. And I can, like, this new confidence coming in with this new cycle of like, I can create what I want, and I can hold the authority that I feel I should have, simply because I nurture and nourish the things that are particular to me. And just that makes me magical, makes me capable of manifesting what I want to manifest. And just like really waking up to this thing of like, I don't need to follow any sort of protocol, any sort of linear version of how to get from point A to point B. I don't even want point A or point B. I want my own point, my point Q, whatever it is, And there is no path, predetermined path to that, which gives me the authority to be self-directed on how I get there. And I'm fully, and it's like waking up that like I am fully capable of that. I know exactly what I need to do to get there. And I have everything I need to do that within me. I am magic. I have a bold heart. I have creative ideas. I have my own particular learned wisdoms and my own intelligence that has been cultivated through my own experiences, that is valid and worthy and deserves to be seen in leadership and deserves to be taken seriously and respected and seen and heard and all the things. And it's just opening up all sorts of new opportunities here. With the Seven of Cups, I think this new kind of mentality coming through is now all of a sudden gonna, instead of feeling like you're blocked off from any opportunity or feeling thwarted in general in terms of like creation and creativity and flourishing in life, it's like suddenly too many doors get flung open, and there's like, I think the challenge in this new chapter is not finding any door to open to you and feeling like nothing's open to you. It's developing some discernment about how to choose the right opportunities, and what is truly aligned to your values, and not taking things at face value, really checking in with your intuition with that, and what feels right versus what looks right kind of thing, like really stepping into that kind of more feminine approach of how things feel versus how they look, more cyclically minded instead of linearly minded kind of thing. And it's just like, but the grounds are right for rebuilding right now, for new opportunities. And I think you're just, this new chapter you're stepping into with this is like, you've seen certain blocks and shadows for what they are, and you're really ready to move past that, and really ready to own your boldness, your command, your particular, what you bring to the table and what you want. You're just ready to honor it all, and it's just making you see so much more clearly, and it's really reconnecting you to your inner power, which connects you to other power in the world. And it's just like, whatever you want to manifest, I feel like you can do at this point. Just stay true to you is the point here. So that is that. And to end this reading, we are just going to get some divine feather messages to leave you with about this new chapter. We have the Oriole, a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. So either something catches your eye that sparks this, or you have like a new idea that comes up within you. But I think something's becoming very clear very suddenly, whether it's from within or something that kind of catches your eye. It's a new creative venture just is rising on the horizon for you. Okay, and then we're going to pick two more that will be referencing this card, which I will facilitate that, but just so you know. Magpie, reevaluate your priorities. It's time to let go of what you no longer need, which we've talked about. I think you're at the end of some clearing, like spring cleaning phase, bulldozing out the wreckage of past cycles in terms of how you've connected to heart and leadership and recreation and love and creativity, all of that. And I think this new thing on the horizon, this new creative venture that rises for you on the horizon, is going to make it even easier. I think you're already doing it well, but it's going to make it even easier for you to reevaluate, to see where there's been blocks, and to let go of anything that's just you've grown past, Okay, last one. We've got Flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. Beautiful. And that, I think, is very much so in relation to whatever this new creative venture on the horizon is, which may mean it could feel a little surprising to you. It might not be what's sort of on your mind right now. If you have something on your mind, it's like something that suddenly comes up, and you then are able to kind of stay flexible and malleable and reevaluate things, and really be open to incorporating some new rhythms to facilitate this creative venture that is just ready to kind of flood you and your life with positivity and creativity and heart and leadership and command and confidence. So gorgeous, beautiful new chapter for you guys. I'm very excited for you. And this is where I'm going to leave you. So if this resonated, I always appreciate the like, share, subscribe, and I'm definitely grateful for kind and thoughtful little comments. And I will see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading all about a new chapter entering your life. You guys picked the Lemurian Quartz. This one has a bit of a pinkish tint to it. And we are just going to put that over to the side during your reading. So the card that was under the stone you picked is going to be kind of the subject matter of this change, or this new, I shouldn't say, I mean, it is a change in a sense, but this new chapter coming in. But before we do that, I'm also going to roll this astro dice that has the numbers 1 through 12, representing the 12 houses of an astrology chart, which are sort of like categorizing areas of life. So I wanted to see what area of life this new chapter kind of connects to or pertains to, and then we'll see what that new chapter is about within that category of your life. So 4th house, this is all about home, roots, family, a feeling of kind of security, stability underfoot, self-care and nurturance. There's all sorts of things that could come through with this 4th house connection. So we'll just sort of stay open to it all. And let's see sort of the main overarching subject matter of this new chapter. The pillar, really stepping into a chapter around the foundations of life, creating security in life, where you have a lot of strength and a lot of authority and a lot of capability. So you may be stepping into a chapter also like where a lot of people somewhat depend on you, but nothing is going to be put on you that you can't easily support. Just looking at this image of the pillar, it is, it is very strong, it's very stable, and it is not overburdened. So whatever is coming in is just like also a recognition of like, you won't be overburdened, but you are going to be like the pillar of certain things. You are going to be holding responsibility, holding certain weights, but nothing that that even remotely burdens you. I think it will make you actually, like, I think maybe you would be excited to kind of feel like a pillar in this area of life in terms of family or home, or work with your ancestral line, or just in creating kind of secure foundations. Yeah, so if you're someone that has kids, I think that this would be an especially fortuitous thing to see, sort of like you've got this, like you're stepping into a new chapter where you are really on solid footing, or will be very soon. I think that's nice for anyone to hear, but especially for people that have dependents in their household, children in their household. And maybe you're younger yourself, and this, maybe your family situation has been on a little bit of shifting grounds, and suddenly you're coming into a new chapter where home, maybe the people in your home become more stable, or something becomes more stable in your home life that makes you feel more stable. And home life just feels more like in place, like it's a pillar you can lean on. Okay, so moving beyond this, we are going to check in with both the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom to get their wisdom and messages about this chapter. So we have crow and dogwood with intelligence. And one more from this deck. The finch and peach with romance. Ooh, so for some of you, this may have sort of like a connection to like a new home with someone you love, or like moving in together and that feeling stable. And the two of you, if you were to look at this almost being like two energies, really like the coming together, the unifying, and creating a home that's stable and beautiful and strong together. Whatever resonates to you, whether it's like you being kind of a pillar in your home, you feeling like there are much stronger foundations at home suddenly that make home more stable for you, or this like creating a new stable home with like a new romance kind of thing. So I'm going to read from the guidebook for these two cards to get a little bit more how the two elements combine. Crow and dogwood first. So, with intelligence, the crow is an incredibly intelligent bird associated with the power of foresight and the ability to use tools. Today, it's often used to signify darkness or foreboding. But modern depictions rarely do the crow justice. According to Norse folklore, the crow is a powerfully positive symbol meant to remind us of our skills and resources. It says, "You are capable of solving any problem." Like the crow, the dogwood has a somewhat confused public image. Its beautiful light-colored petals convey gentleness and whimsy. Few know that its hard bark and strong frame make it an uncommonly durable tree, able to withstand even the harshest weather. Upright, you have the tools to fulfill your goals and solve any problems that stand in your way. You need only look inward to find wisdom and strength. I think this very much so references the pillar of just like really solid planning, foresight, stability coming through, all to support home security, family, just like massive strength coming through here. I feel like anyone would feel blessed to see this new chapter arrive, just really feeling that security in life, that foundation in life as totally solid and totally capable and totally not just in the now, but like with foresight into the future, of making plans of like my life is going to always be on solid footing because it is right now. And I'm using that strength to look into the future and make sure that I only make it more and more stable, more and more solid, more and more foundational. Okay, let's look at the finch and peach. Okay, with romance, love is in the air when the finch and peach appears. The peach, a sweetly scented, heart-shaped fruit, has long been associated with fertility, sexuality, and love. And the lively finch symbolizes exuberance, enthusiasm, and excitement. Upright, your vibrancy and charm have led to a blossoming romance. Be open to and accepting of new love's many delights. And then, how do I show others I love them? Do I feel safe and supported enough to be open to new love? And in reference to this card, for you, if that romance thing resonates and feels accurate, I really do think that like you're in the right relationship to really build a strong foundation with somebody. If you're already like in that position, it's like some new, like this new chapter of stability underfoot is making things, I think, much lighter for love to flourish. So like a new chapter, this new foundation also brings with it a levity and ease in love. Maybe there's been previous tensions due to things being a little shifty underfoot, not totally stable underfoot. but finding that, that new stability coming in this chapter allows romance to flourish more. If you are single, or this doesn't resonate to you at all in terms of the romance, I think whatever is happening on a foundational level of like really creating what feels like stability underfoot in your life, whether that's home or family or both, is just making you, romance does not have to be between two people. You can feel romantic about life. You can feel romantic about yourself. And I think it's just like a new attitude, this lightening up that's able to come through to just like really enjoy your life because you feel that stability underfoot of just total security, total foundational strength that allows you to be a little lighter, a little more playful, a little bit more fun-loving in life. So that's really beautiful. Whatever resonates to you, maybe all of them speak to you in some way. Okay, so now we are going to get specifically from the plant realm a couple more messages here. We've got hops. This one, and figwort. Two very colorful cards. Not every card in this deck is colorful, see. So two very colorful cards. So let's look at hops first. And that just made me need to sneeze for some reason. That's interesting. Let's see what hops says, if there's any connection there. Moony is what hops says as its keyword. I'm not going to read the whole because it's kind of a long description. So I have been kind of jumping down to the last things because it tends to sort of summarize at that point. Okay, this bitter, sweet, citrusy plant ally has been a long friend of the human world, integrally part of our ability to connect, relax, and sleep deeply. I love that relax, sleep deeply, feel connected. That tracks for me, that stability, bringing a lightening up. We have known this plant as a soother and a warm breeze for more time than numbers need express. Yeah, it's just, and I'm even looking at this kind of like rocking chair here and this leisurely rowboat thing and someone just sort of lost in flowers or clouds, whatever those are, but it's just like this ability to be more relaxed about life suddenly because of some kind of, with this new chapter, some kind of foundational security being felt, like you don't have to reach as high or try as hard or work as hard, something coming through there of like more stability that allows you to be a little bit more relaxed in life, easy in life. So that's, gosh, love it. Hops is a weaver of moonbeams and visions, a vine that can grow long and high, whose golden resin floats in the air of the night and causes sweet and languid dreams. Yeah, again, just this feeling coming through of just like being able to take a load off in life suddenly because, and I love that I picked up on like something is coming in that's just making your life feel so secure and founded and strong. And I love picking up on that, like even though it's like you're stepping into this new chapter with such strength and this ability to hold weight, you're not having to hold that much weight though, as much as you're like nowhere near what you're capable of holding, but just the right amount for life to feel balanced and beautiful and relaxed. Like this is a very beautiful kind of image of pillars. These pillars aren't weighted, but they're not useless. Like they just feel beautiful. Like it's the right balance of everything coming in due to certain foundations really feeling stable suddenly. I love it. I love this for you guys. Wow. Hops is a shadow plant, but one that makes the darkness sparkle. If you are finding yourself anxious, beholden to the details, tied up, clenching, a need for control, maybe this is where you have been. Invite hops in. Invite both the losing and confiding. Invite both the losing and finding your way, the lightning and the floating. Invite this friend who skips beside you. Lie down and watch the stars come out together. Yeah, it's just something is really stabilizing in your life to make life lighter. Beautiful. Okay, let's look at Figwort, which is 58 in this. Oops. The compass. Figwort is an understated beauty. They are the magnetic center, drawing you near and looking at you squarely in the face. Figwort is not perfume and roses. Figwort is the bitter brew that always makes you feel better. If you are looking for a tough love kind of guidance or an ally to help you cut to the heart of the matter and make bold, clear choices, Figwort is already by your side. Smell the musky waft of Figwort and remember what the most basic, stripped down and true version of yourself is like. Look at that self in the face and you will see Figwort in the shadows of your eyes, smiling with a hand on your shoulder. I'm just skimming what it says above here. Yeah, I mean, this is, to me, just, it's, this sentence really sticks out to me. Remember what the most basic, stripped down, and true version of yourself is like. And I think that there's something coming through where you're just like really in this chapter, it's like just really feeling so sure-footed and easy in yourself that you don't have to try so hard anymore. And there's no more kind of fear from kind of like a scarcity feeling or how am I going to retire. Not saying that you can retire right now, but like there's just some kind of security coming through that either just this feeling of like, well, yeah, I've got my foundations. Sure, maybe I'll have to work until typical retirement age or even above, but it's sort of like, but I've got this. Like I know what I enjoy. I know how to establish balance in that. And for some of you, it may be even more fortuitous where there's like, you know, for those of you newly in romance and you get, you know, establish a new home together, maybe that merging of resources just suddenly makes things a lot more stable. And for even others of you, maybe there's some kind of inheritance or windfall or investment you've made, something that like suddenly has this payoff and it's just like creates this new foundation or nest egg that allows you to kind of like rest a bit and like I don't have to try so hard anymore. I'm comfortable. So whatever spectrum you're on, it doesn't mean that you're kind of like stepping into a windfall, but it's this feeling of like stepping into this feeling of like I got this. Whatever it is, whatever's ahead of me to create solid foundations and feel good about my future and its security, I got it. So however that presents itself to you, and that's allowing you to ease off of yeah, just reaching so hard. It's allowing you to find more balance, more ease, more well-roundedness in life because you feel a new certainty about those foundations and that security. So really, I mean, that's huge. That's just so big. Okay, we're going to do some tarot to get a little bit more context of sort of like what's to come for this chapter. Bit of an outlook. Got 5 of Swords. Whoops. 2 of Wands. Two of Swords. King of Cups. 7 of Wands. And 10 of Swords reversed. Yeah, it's interesting. I was looking at this 5 of Swords reversed right as I was putting out the 10 of Swords reversed. And my sense with this deck, the images on these cards, I'm just going to read it more based on the feeling I'm getting from the images, is like, I think that, I just get this sense that you have been in this, like in the previous chapter around home or a sense of security, felt this need to constantly sort of like fight for your place in the world, to create sort of that outer world security, to feed that foundational and home security, and just like a lot of battle wounds from it, a lot of stress from it, a lot of just burnout. And it's just like you're letting go. And suddenly, as you let go of all of that striving and trying and anxiety and mental energy and tensions, it's like that flow allows you to kind of release yourself from feelings of being held down, tied back, competitive, anxious, allows you to let go of old baggage, old battles, old wounds, whatever they are. It's just like they're just easing up. You're just letting go. And there is this association with beauty, is that you find greater beauty the more you can move from tensions to flow. And I'm just feeling that come through here in these reversals of just letting go of these tensions, which is allowing suddenly and paradoxically, from what you had been thinking, beauty and stability to start to flow for you in probably really unexpected ways. I love that. And there is, I mean, this 2 of Wands is definitely indicating some kind of like new journey starting, and it feeling, and I just like this flow feeling here, it feeling open, it feeling gentle, it feeling fortuitous. Indecision, fence sitting is leaving too. Tension, I'm just feeling a huge release of certain tensions that have been held, whether it's about decisions you've needed to make, battles needing to be fought, anxieties being held, overuse of mind and anxiety just being present in general, burnout. Like it's just going. It's like you've hit a brick wall, and it's almost like there's no choice but to let go. and to ease up on those tensions. And it's just like all of a sudden that just allows everything to shine, everything to flow and to shine. And finding, I'm looking at this kind of walrus here in the Seven of Wands of like finding your depth and strength. Suddenly that just being there, like yeah, maybe there's still things in the world to contend with, things, because traditionally the Seven of Wands is sort of like having to defend your position after you've had a victory, and you usually see like a person up a little higher than other people and trying to kind of fight them from getting your position. But in this Seven of Wands, it's like the walrus, very relaxed in its depths and just like completely unfazed by maybe any positioning outside of it. Like, no, I'm just, yeah, maybe I've had my victory. Maybe there's still battles that I could fight or pay attention to, but like, no, I'm just suddenly like very comfortable. I don't see really anything as a threat in the way that I used to. How in the position I now find myself, I think I would have felt that need to defend my position, but I'm so sure and stable now in what's coming through in this new chapter that like I don't see this as stuff I have to defend or engage with. I'm just very confident and sure here. I have a weight, I have a depth, and I'm just sure in it. I don't need to fight anymore. And just like, yeah, just stepping into this new balance, this new flow, and this new just confidence and sureness of where you are with things. Just really, yeah, and like new journey that's just lighter, more beautiful, gorgeous. Such a gorgeous reading, you guys. Okay, to end this, we're going to get some divine feather messages to just leave you with some beautiful spirit messages. So we've got white turkey. The power to heal the earth is within you. And I feel that as your foundations. The power to heal home, family, foundation, security, stability, whatever that is within you. You have, and like the turkey association is just that gratitude, generosity, and understanding how every aspect of yourself or of something can be of use and taken advantage of. And it's just like, I think you're suddenly seeing how much you have, seeing with these eyes of feeling grateful for what you do have, which helps to only grow life and grow what you have to be grateful for. And so it's partially just this switch in like mentality and perspective of like just seeing everything as like, you know, I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that in terms of your foundations, and it just then in compound ways grows. Okay, we're going to pick two more of these divine feather messages, but they're going to be in reference to this first card. So we've got duck. Find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. You can't make that up. So whatever is like, whatever you have the power to heal here, whatever is healed here, whatever you're finding that new perspective of gratitude and growth in, it's allowing you to live more comfortably and simply and feel just, yeah, just this ecosystem of support around you. Can't make this up. And then we've got peacock. Inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth. And this is in relation to this power to heal the earth or your foundations, your security, your home, family, whatever it is. yeah, something's integrating, something's assimilating within you at this moment, and you're about to have a rebirth that will help you to step into this energy, into this new chapter, this path with this new attitude. Whew, and I just felt this need to take like such a deep exhale and release and relaxation. And I feel like that's what's coming for you guys. So wow, really, really profound and beautiful and amazing. And I hope this truly finds you in the extent it is showing is possible. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things, the like, share, subscribe, and definitely always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. And I will see you in future readings.